Stava a succedere no bordello.
All right, what's going on, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the Bordello. I'm Sam Adamo. I've got a comic on the pod this week. It's Bassam Shawl from New York City. We met here at the stand. He's been cool. He's been good to me. We kind of vibed, so I decided to have him on for a little hang. I'm telling you who he is because we kind of got into the pod like with the mics hot and just sort of started talking. It was a great episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. I know it's gay, but I have to say that. I gotta say it. It's the fucking rule. It's what it is. It's my fucking contract. I'm trying to get monetized, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can monetize and start paying Dilo so he doesn't have to keep working for slave labor. Right now, he gets a piece of the action. That's a thing. This is kind of revealing insider info, but, I don't think he would give a shit. If he does, I guess I'll have to fire him, right? And find another producer, but is what it is. I guess I'm the boss here. The boss of a guy who doesn't get paid shit. That's the point. He has a piece of the action, but right now he gets a piece of zero. So we got to get to 1,000 subscribers so the D-Lo can get a piece of something. You understand what we're doing here? I'm trying to look out for the kid. So subscribe if you're new. Hopefully Maurizio Sarri lives to see this podcast. The last episode is kind of taken off a little bit. I mean, for us, it's doing a little better than usual. There are memes circulating. I'm worried that it's going to get into the news any day now. That articles are going to start circulating. Maybe, I don't know. And that I'm going to have inadvertently just totally thrown Lazio as a club into disarray when their coach has to answer these questions about having cum in his pants when the Twin Towers fell. If you haven't checked out the last pod, please do. It was a wild one. I hope that Sarri can survive this and hopefully it doesn't get out. I've been there, buddy. I've been there. It's, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? People are going to say what it'll blow over. That's what I say when shit like this happens. It'll blow over. What are you going to do? Before we get into the pod, I want to talk a little bit on this little mic here about, just kind of in the preamble before we get to the pod, because the episode was recorded just in the aftermath of Azzurri's Euro. You like the way I put mustard on that? Azzurri. In the aftermath of the Azzurri's Euro 2024 group draw. I mean, it was the whole Euro 2024 group draw which occurred, but we're elitist here. We only care about Italy. So the pod was kind of recorded in the aftermath of that. Bassam likes football a little bit. We had a great chat. You should definitely fucking listen to it. We talked a lot about other shit, not really football. A lot about religion, actually, which may entice or dissuade you. It is what it is. It was a great hang. You should stay tuned and watch it. But so I just do, because we didn't talk about football much, and we didn't talk about the Azzurri at all, and I know that a lot of the people that listen to the pod kind of tune in for that shit. I do kind of just want to acknowledge the group briefly. So Italy drew Spain, Croatia, and Albania. Albania, the Mexicans of Italy. That's not a criticism, by the way. I mean, they're crucial for the economy of the country. The restaurants fall apart without the Albanians, by the way. It's just in every major city. It's just what it is. You got no waiters without them. You're fucked. We're really going to test the allegiance of some weird pockets of Calabria too. What are those people called? I don't even know. I'm doing this alone right now. I don't even have a guy to pull this up. But that pocket, they're these Greek and Albanian pockets of people in Calabria that speak like a different kind of dialect. I think they're original, they're Albanian people in Calabria that speak a weird Albanian Italian kind of blend. My immediate reaction to the group was that Puglia as a region is going to be set ablaze. We'll see how that turns out. Again, there are Albanians in every city, so there might be some high tension situations going on there. 18th Avenue in Bensonhurst, Cafe Sportivo, half the clientele there is Albanian. I got people DMing me horrifically racist shit about Albanians, fans of mine. I mean, it's the fan base I attract. Just saying, that saying stuff about how they want to, do stuff to them and how they take, they've been taking over, Italian businesses and stuff, lamenting that. I don't. Thank you is what we should say. I think they're keeping them running. You can't tell the difference, and in some cases, in the fast food New York pizza joints anyway, and also, like what, like you want to keep doing these jobs. You know what I'm saying? You who's been like here for generations now. It's a new immigrant job. People are trying to establish themselves. What are we doing here? Anyway, Albania in the first game. Must win right off the bat, obviously. If we lose that game, we're in real trouble because we got to win against Spain and Croatia, probably, or at least beat one of those two teams. And we should, by the way. But that's a lot of pressure, undue pressure. I know we've done well in Germany in the past, and a lot of people are saying that it's, in the cards that we go and win again. Obviously, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I think we can win all 3 games. I don't know that we will. I think if we win 2 and draw Spain, that'd be awesome. That would be reasonable. I think it'd be reason to, be happy. We could probably top the group doing that or finish second and you're good, But again, top 3 teams do get out of the group. So it doesn't look great for Albania, but you have to fucking beat them in the first game before worrying about, qualifying. And I do think every game is going to have a lot of pressure for us. But by the way, this is a good thing. You want exciting games. You want the neighborhoods. You want the country, as a whole to witness exciting games, big games. That's what this fucking tournament is. It's the Euro. It's meant to be one of the best tournaments in the world. It's probably better than the World Cup in some respects. The level of football anyway. So, I mean, you've got to be happy that you're playing against a couple of Goliaths. I mean, Croatia and Spain aren't going to be happy to have us in their group. And we've got 3 juggernauts in one group. That's good. It's obviously the group of death, but it's exciting. We get to enjoy it, That's what it's about. You want to beat the best teams. So we're going to have a chance to do that. I do think Spalletti, obviously, when he was at Napoli, played the best football in the world, certainly in Europe, one of the best in the world, one of the best types of football that we might have ever seen in Italy, one of the best brands of football we've ever fucking seen there. And, it's not been the case with Azzurri yet, but it's too early to say. He's barely had any time to implement anything. I think the goal was on the focus was on pragmatism, and the goal was to qualify, which he did. And now he won't have much time to try out new ideas because there's only one more international break before the summer. But he'll at least have time to, I don't know, think and consider stuff, see what players are doing well, maybe have a couple of camps. I don't know that we'll be playing that well in the summer, but it's not totally out of the question, although, club football is very different, and we don't have a Cristiano Giuntoli, which Napoli had, the guy who's now at Juve, kind of orchestrating the construction of that team. We don't have that, but we have a good kind of national setup. We do have good individuals. It's about making them work well together, but you could see them beating Spain. They've been a dance partner for us in recent years, less of a boogeyman. It's been a lot of back and forth with them. They've gotten us, we've gotten them. And, a lot of people I'm seeing are saying that they're concerned that Italy have never beaten Croatia in a competitive game or in a game ever. Who gives a shit? They've been around for they've been around fewer years than I've been alive. How many attempts have we had at that? Do you not think that we could beat Croatia? They're an aging team. The Balkan Fire, is a little concerning in the tournament. They do really well, but they do really well in tournaments. They have of late, but it's a challenging group. It's not ideal, but there kind of are no easy groups. You do have to win every game. Playing Hungary is not easy either. Playing Scotland's not easy either. These are all winnable games that you should win, but arguably we should beat Croatia as well. If we don't get out of this group, then, we don't deserve to go on a run. That's fucking how it works. I'm excited for it, man. I wouldn't despair too much. I think it's going to be a great tournament. I'm excited for the summer, and I think you guys should be too. I don't think anyone should be scared right now, No one wants to face the defending champions, even though we had a really weird couple of years going into this Euro. So I wouldn't be too overly concerned about it. I'm really excited. I'm excited about the closeness of all the teams. You got Croatia, who we share a border with, Albania, who we're really close to, who we kind of share a sea with, and with a country which we kind of have historical ties to, and where a place where a lot of people have migrated to Italy from. Then, Spain, another Mediterranean kind of rivalry. I think it's great. I think it's glorious. I'm really excited for it, man. Anyway, so we'll obviously talk about more, we'll talk about that more in depth as, the months roll on. But yeah, I thought that was kind of just worth mentioning off the top before we get into the interview with Bassam. Let's get into it now. It's a great interview. Again, subscribe if you're new. Hit like, please. If you're just listening to the pod, give it a rating, 5 stars. Helps us out, boosts us. And yeah, please follow me at I'm Sam Adamo if you care to. Without further ado, Bassam Shawl. Let's go.
I saw you and I thought you were my cousin. And then Chris was like, "Isn't this guy like your fucking twin?" I was like, "I mean, yeah, we could. Yeah, it was like a Spider-Man meme."
You called me striking, which I liked.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, you're a well manicured, well dressed, good looking dude. So I was like, "This is a good looking." And then you're Canadian. I'm like, "Wow, all right, he's got even more culture than we would think." But then, yeah, shocked.
You're the first person that's ever said that. No one hears Canada and thinks, "Yeah, culture." People just think, I don't know, more of the same, more of us, cousins almost, you know.
Well, Montreal, I feel like is like when I was like a kid, but
I heard you. I walked in before you were talking to John. We haven't really started the pod. I don't know. I think the mics are hot. John, are the mics on?
I think
he's fucking deep in whatever he's doing over there.
I assume everything's on, so we can just
Yeah, I know. I just want to confirm. John, are we good? Everything's hot? Okay, cool. Thanks.
That's great.
When did you go? I'm gonna have to fucking piss again.
Oh, I don't know. I think like when I was like a really small kid. So I haven't really been in. And like yeah, I'd really love to go, but I had a lot of friends who went to McGill, so people were like, yeah.
I went to McGill.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible, man.
Who do you know that went there?
This girl, her name was Nida Nizam, and then she had a brother named Haris Nizam, and I think they took some time off, but they were very, very sharp people. And
yeah. It's
the Harvard of Canada.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Whoa.
And sometimes it turns out a guy who decides to become a comic, which is there's no perfect system.
What did you study at McGill?
Labor relations.
Oh, okay, word. Yeah.
I wanted to work with athletes. I wanted to be like a player's agent. I worked for a soccer team for a year.
That'd be cool.
Out of COVID, my first job right out of school was right when COVID hit. So a few months in, it got weird. And
do they call it soccer in Canada?
yeah, soccer, football.
They call it, but in Canada, like in Montreal,
Soccer.
They call it soccer.
Yeah, they do.
Whoa. Okay, so it's not just an American thing. I think it's just like a North American thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Precisely. I think even in Australia they call it soccer.
No way, dude.
You know what their
Come on.
You know what their national team is called?
What?
It's a crazy name. You're gonna die. The Socceroos. It's
yeah.
So it's almost, I don't know. It's almost like it was written by an American who was trying to write a sitcom about Australia.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna have to pee again, dude. This is a fucking problem, man. I'm gonna have to power through.
I think you can power through it. I think.
Well, you don't know what I'm going through. It's bold of you to assume that you know what I'm going. But I will power through because I have willpower. But it's not. That's not a given. It's really acute. Like I've I've not eaten anything, and it's like all my efforts are concentrated in my bladder now.
You gotta eat while you're in New York, man.
I have been, dude. That's the problem. That's why I'm doing the fast.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm doing the fast. We'll get into it. Let's just fucking, I don't know. I know this is all good riff, but we started off on a weird, uncomfortable fucking topic. You know what? Fuck it. You know what I'm gonna do? I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna record an intro. This is all I'm gonna cut all this out. Fuck this. But what I'm doing is, I'm gonna do my dad always shits on me because I don't ever introduce guests. He thinks it's weird that I don't.
Do it as naturally as it comes to you.
I know, but I'll actually I'll do a fucking 30-second. What's up? All right, this is who the guest is. Please sub. That's it. Like all the mandatory stuff, which I never think to do anyway. So we'll just get right into it.
All right, yeah.
So we're gonna cut this and we're just gonna create work for the producer back at home. But what the fuck were we saying? So
do the intro.
No, there is no intro now.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it after. I don't know. God, I'm all over the fucking map here. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about. The fast.
Yeah, the fast.
So no, but that's why I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it because
you've been eating so much.
I've been eating a lot. I've not been doing any meal prep. I've not been doing any cooking. I'm in like a student dorm right now, but it's not really a student dorm.
It's like a hostel.
I basically have roommates.
Yeah.
Basically, for all intents and purposes. I like saying it's a student dorm. It's like a roommate situation. There's like a bathroom per person, but kind of not really. They're roommates.
What was the setup like in college at McGill? Did you have like?
I lived at home. I'm from Montreal, so I just lived with my parents.
You commuted.
Yeah, I still live at home. I still live with my parents. I might move out soon, but I still live at home. We'll see. I mean, kind of.
I did that for a year. Because I went to Syracuse and I'm from Syracuse.
Right. Yeah. But then you moved out while going to Syracuse.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't enjoy because my family was like not like crazy religious, but they're like Muslims, so they're like a little bit less inclined for me.
Oh
to, like,
shit!
be
So you're
staying
Indian
out.
Muslim. So yesterday when I was pulling out all like the terms, the call to prayer, the azan, you were
Yeah.
actually legitimately impressed.
Yeah, no, I mean the fact that you already, you made me tea, and it's like a Persian tea here. I'm like, okay, good for.
Yeah.
there's
Do
a
you like
Persian
the way I
proverb on there.
wrapped? Do you like the way I wrapped it around the handle? This is what my girlfriend
I
taught
say
me to do.
Sam is, I think he's brown facing right now, just the way he's looking. Like, I mean, this is in a good way, because like, he's one of those guys who like, he could be on the soccer team for Israel and Palestine.
Yeah,
and no one would
right,
know. No
right,
one would know. You know
right,
what I mean? And,
right,
but
right.
And secretly, you're just an Italian.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the wild card. Yeah. Secretly, you're just racist.
Secretly,
you're
yeah,
neither.
yeah.
You fight. You hate the Jews and you hate the terrorists.
The
It's
only thing
kinda
that you
both.
have in common is olive oil. All right, that's the only thing in common.
I heard the olive oil is very good actually over there, and I heard some guys try to politicize it, like some Palestinian guys were like, oh yes, the people now live on my family's old olive trees, or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's the best olive oil in the world. Everyone who makes olive oil swears it's the best in the world
For sure.
because you can only get it here in Lebanon. Or
Yeah.
here, the Greek olive oil. You shut up and eat.
And we just know Trader Joe's has the best olive oil.
Does I don't know what is the best American grocery store?
Wegmans, and it's like a brand that
I've never heard of Wegmans.
Wegmans.
Oh, Wegmans. That's a good. I thought it might have been trash. I don't.
It's
know.
iconic. It's a chain that was started in Rochester, which is upstate New York, and then I'm like from an hour south of that in Syracuse. But it's like constantly named as like one of the best grocery stores in like the country and the planet, and like one of
Really?
the best employers. They have 2 now in New York City.
Okay.
You should definitely check it out.
I went to Whole Foods yesterday for the first time in a while.
Went to Amazon then, huh?
Yeah. Was that what? Does Amazon own them now?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure, but I saw, fucking like an Amazon package return site in the store and thought it was a little odd. It felt a little like Amazon for food. It felt a little like, yeah, if Amazon did food, just the
exactly.
stands. Like if you walk up to the top floor of the one nearby, it's like a buffet almost.
Yeah.
And it feels very American speed. Come here,
Yeah.
It's for people that are not quite I don't know. It's for people that are not quite lower echelon, like Amazon isn't a thing that the poorest of the poor. I guess everyone kind of orders on Amazon, but it feels like a thing. Like if you're a Prime member, you could pay for the Prime membership. If you go to Whole Foods, you want to eat whole food. I don't know. There's something about I don't know.
The branding was very
two
strong.
brands that kind of lines up in a way that feels a little. Now that I'm aware of it, now that you're pointing it out, I feel almost a little duped having gone to Whole Foods. I thought it was like this thing that you
No.
do where you go there and get the best food that you can get at any American grocery store. And now I'm learning that it's owned by this huge chain.
Yeah.
Not that Whole Foods, in my mind, wasn't a big chain, but now that I'm realizing that it's owned by like Jeff Bezos, for some reason, just kind of I feel gross
I
having
mean,
gone there.
You can read the Washington Post while you're shopping at Whole Foods and order a drone from Amazon.
I went to get bone broth
Yeah, that's a popular thing now.
because I'm trying this 86-hour fast, which I know is really douchey, but fuck it. I mean, if I'm not going to talk about it on a podcast that I run, I mean, what the fuck, what else am I going to, I think I have free reign here. I'm not on your podcast, and the first thing you ask me is, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm trying this fast. I'm bringing this up.
Well, that's a very Muslim thing that you're doing.
It is a very Muslim thing I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
taking in calories technically. Could you do? No, you can actually during Ramadan. I was gonna say, could you do the electrolytes I'm doing right now, which are 0, 0, 0, no sugar? But it's because you can't drink, so it doesn't work. You can't hydrate either.
I remember what I used to do playing soccer while like fasting. I tried to do that, and like I would like just like drink the water and like just swirl it around my mouth and then spit it out because you get dry mouth, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, all right, it's just, it's not a good idea.
It's very Jewish of you. It's a loophole.
Yeah, it's
the
a
Jews
loophole.
they love the
Yeah.
loopholes.
There's also a fun thing where I was like, if you are fasting and you forget that you're fasting and you accidentally take a bite of food or like
okay.
a drink of water,
Right.
it's okay. That was a gift from God.
Right.
That because you forget. So you're like, wow, I just like hope that this weed is gonna make me forget that I'm fasting.
Yeah,
I
right,
hope that I'm
right.
so high now that I'm gonna forget and that I can eat. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's
for
the
sure.
thing here's the thing that's always fascinated me about my Muslim friends. They'll do Ramadan pretty religiously. No pun intended. But
That's funny.
I guess I guess for faith, but also like clockwork. They'll always do it no matter what.
It's like a good challenge. You can
Yeah.
respect that just given what you're talking about. right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm doing it because of a Republican, MAGA drum banging motherfucker like Dana White who put me onto it. We all, whatever. All roads lead to Rome. Who cares? But sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a holistic element to it.
Yeah.
But I will say this about my Muslim friends is that they would always do Ramadan, but they would also do a ton of haram shit.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Smoke during Ramadan.
Yeah. Oh, smoke during Ramadan.
Smoke weed.
But not like during the fasting part. It's just like after the fasting's over, they're like, well, all right, we can go back to doing our bad things.
All the bad things.
Yeah. I mean, you're technically not supposed to have sex during Ramadan.
During the fast. So when the sun goes down, you can.
I feel like,
So
it's up for interpretation.
Shit gets wild at night.
It's vampires.
basically.
Vampires come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Blade.
Here's the one thing about Ramadan that I've always found weird, and this is like going back to when I was a kid. Before I went to a Catholic all boys like high school, so
It shows. No, I'm sorry.
It that's fine. My parents paid a lot of money for it to show. That's good. If it's showing, that's good. Or it could be a horrible
There are
thing.
a lot
where
of
it's
Catholics in Montreal.
tons. Yeah. Italian, Irish,
Portuguese.
Yeah, tons.
Yeah.
But fucking, I was gonna say it's showing. I mean, that could be like you're well spoken. It could also be you commit date rape, or you fucking rape in a frat house type of thing. It could show in very positive or negative ways. It may not necessarily be a good thing. I don't know what you're implying, but I'll take it as a good thing. But I didn't know a ton of Muslims when I was growing up. Personally, I just didn't interface with a lot of them until I started playing soccer when I was older. Then I got close with a lot of them.
Honestly, it's such a sport that exposes people to so many different types of cultures, but then Islam is very prominently in there. I don't know why.
It is, yeah. Well, it's just also I started I played hockey growing
The
up.
Bosnians are so good.
The Bosnians?
The Bosnians I grew up with playing soccer were so good.
Yeah, and they're sneaky Muslims.
Yeah.
You look at them and you wouldn't think they are, but they do the
Muslims with like the most Russian KGB looking
Yeah.
fucking faces.
Yeah. Right.
They were just so good at. Did you ever watch that
They
movie?
love soccer. Yeah.
You ever watch that movie Kicking and Screaming?
Yeah, of course.
And it's like the two Italians.
Yeah.
But it was like that, but with the Bosnians. And So
Okay.
if you had Bosnians on your team, there's these Bosnian refugees that came to
In
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Yeah, in Syracuse,
That's
these Bosnian refugees, man, and they fucking crushed it. Osman. I don't remember that. I've been like, because I was Muslim. They were like, oh, we like vibe. We're gonna pass to this guy.
Yeah.
We'll definitely let him get in on it.
That's like just the trash version of Kicking and Screaming, just because you grew up in upstate New York in a relatively important city. But let's be honest, it's fucking it's kind
No,
of
I mean it's
kind
a
of
college town. It's a shitty college town.
It's kind of a shitty town, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
over there. It's you pass to the Bosnians. In Chicago, a larger American city, an established American city with history, Al Capone, its own cuisine, deep dish pizza. You pass to the Italians.
Yeah.
In Syracuse, you pass to the fucking Bosnians.
Well, there are
in
a lot
Rochester, they pass to the Albanians. I like the idea that.
Whatever, country with the darkest eyebrows has just recently come in.
Yeah, sure. So, fuck yeah, no, they're a fun bunch because they look Balkan, but they have Islamic sounding names. Some of them. I played with a guy named Sakir.
Mm-hmm.
So not Sakir. It was spelt in a Balkan way almost with I don't know.
Yeah.
Different emphasis
What
on
position?
different
What
syllables.
position were you playing?
Mostly as a defender. I was
You were a defender?
Yeah, I was a fullback mostly.
Oh, okay, like on a specific
fullback,
side,
center
or like you like.
No, but both. I train my left foot.
That's pretty cool.
I train my left foot to be able to cross with both feet. It's one of the things I was best at and very proud of because I wasn't very good at a lot of other things.
Were you fast?
Not when I was younger. I got faster when I was older. I'm quick, but I'm not in a foot race. I'm average.
Okay,
I was never the fastest guy. But I also just didn't play a lot. I played a lot of hockey growing up. I got more serious into soccer when I was older, so I kind of just lost out on a lot of the soft skills that I have in hockey.
Sure.
Legitimately, but But
hockey, okay, very Canadian of you.
Right, and because of that, there aren't a lot of Muslims playing hockey, right? So a lot of. But my point is, so Catholic high school,
Yeah.
Hockey, not a lot of Muslims. Only really happened later. So I befriended a number of them, with time, just through exposure. But when I was younger, didn't grow up around a lot of.
For survival, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Well, also just I kind of got fed. I just I think they would see me and feel welcome.
Yeah,
They
no,
would
you
feel-
are.
They would see
yeah.
a familiar face and
Yes.
say, "I'll talk to this guy," and I just kind of by osmosis wound up
For sure.
associating with a number of them. That's
Yeah.
maybe that I should probably start joking about that. That's a reason why I know about these Islamic terms like the azan. What that is, it's because I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to maybe train for
Have you had
a
halal
side
food here?
quest. I've had a halal cart.
You've had halal cards here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I've eaten halal food before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've eaten kosher food before too, which is halal. Funnily enough. So
But
gotten a taste of
But
it.
halal is not kosher, which is hilarious.
It is
You know what I mean?
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're like, hey,
we stick our nose up to you and say, "You dogs.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do it's good for you." But
Yeah. Don't equate
It's almost
that.
it's almost more condescending than the way that they look at the rest of society who isn't even making an effort. Like me, when I eat like bacon, that's nor halal nor kosher.
No.
So they stick their nose up to me, but it's like, oh, if you're Muslim and you're eating halal, they'll still stick up your nose to you. It's like we see what you're doing, not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
You fail. Not enough.
Exactly.
You know?
But then at the alternative side, they have fasting holidays, but it's like one day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You're right.
Well, I guess we're going to take it up the notch and we're going to do 30 days.
Well, this is the weird thing about Ramadan, and again, so all this to say, when I heard about it when I was a kid, I did not know, I did not have a network of Islamic friends. I just didn't. So I kind of was basing
Network,
my
of terror groups.
yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds the way I worded it does.
Yeah,
make
keep
it
going,
sound
keep
like that.
going. Yeah.
But you get what I mean. And as a result, I didn't really have any ability to ask people like for firsthand accounts of how it's done. I would only base my impression of what Ramadan is based on what I heard, right? And I found it to be, as a layman, I found it to be a little strange how, there was this emphasis on holding off until nighttime, and then you do whatever the fuck you want at night. Just to kind of circle back on your point of, you could have sex at night if you want. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You want to do your haram, smoking and shit. It's probably not. By the way, it's probably not, advised. I think. Like, I don't think that like the most devout
we
fundamentalist imams are telling people
No.
do your thing at night. No, I think they're saying it's Ramadan. It's the holiest of months. Do nothing if you can. But I did find it odd that it's like, pig out at night and then fast. It kind of creates this weird dynamic. I've never done it. You know, I do intermittent fasting, but I've never. I guess I've kind of done it just by doing intermittent fasting. I do drink water, so it's a little different, but
Very different.
But
I think
for
what
sure.
we do, my wife and I are we're big we're big potheads, we're big stoners, and so for Ramadan.
Are you high right now?
No.
Okay.
If for Ramadan,
It would be fine.
I know.
I like to know if guys are on the sauce. I like to guess.
He
I have
was
friends
like,
who will
"Hurry
call
up,
me and
Mike."
I'll guess if they're on the sauce.
And so right before, like, we start the fast, right when sunset is or sundowns or sunrise is happening. We'll smoke some sativa because that's what gets you up, right? It gets you a little bit hungry, and then for indica, that's like when sun sets, right? So like when the fast starts, we're not smoking any weed, but when the fast ends, we're smoking weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And to
yeah,
even start the
100%.
fucking So people add their own little, twists and zests to the traditions.
Yeah.
But I
it's
think
the spirit of it that should matter, right?
and you're supposed to break it with a date, but sometimes I don't want to eat a date because dates can just be.
That's such a Middle Eastern thing too. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so funny because you could be a Muslim anywhere. What if you're a Muslim in a Muslim convert in like Chile? Actually, there are probably a lot of Muslims in Chile. There's a lot of Palestinians and a lot of Arabs out there who migrated. But just a random example. What if you're like in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Where there are no dates.
No, you can get. Oh, dude, dates are accessible. Amazon, baby. Yeah.
Amazon dates.
Yeah, Amazon dates. No, we get some great dates from this like place in Coachella, very randomly in California, that we order from. But
You order dates from Coachella, California.
randomly, they're really fucking good.
You order them to your door.
Yeah.
Really?
From Amazon.
That's a very okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I believe I'm not going to shit on that because I've known people
good
to.
dates.
I've known people to order, a specific type of fucking, like Parmigiano Reggiano. Like some people, guanciale is a big thing.
Yeah.
That a lot of people now, I think, have gotten turned on to because of, travel and accessibility of like information on the internet, cooking recipes and stuff. A lot of people for a while would make like carbonara with like pancetta, for example.
Sounds good.
Sure,
Instead of
guanciale is
bacon,
better.
instead of bacon, or
Guanciale is better. It's the cheek.
guanciale, yeah,
The cheek of the pig, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people. So now it's become all the rage now. People are kind of more aware of what you're supposed to do. And people are, people who are not, who didn't grow up with it.
The Italians,
do
in terms of pork, the Italians have probably done it the best.
Would you say, do you eat pork at all?
Yeah,
You do.
It's like it's like I don't go out of my way to eat it.
Yeah,
but like
if it's there.
if it's there and it's good, and so it's
I'm
like
going to be rude.
when I was in Istanbul, Turkey. Funny enough, it was there at a couple of like restaurants, at a pizza place that I really liked.
It's a very reformed place, I think, Turkey is.
At the
from
time, it was. This
outside.
is like 2013. I think it's a little bit different now, but
It's gone a little.
it's got a bit more Islami. But yeah, I had like some really good Italian pork on pizza in Turkey, and then I was like, man, if it's here, I could eat it.
Yeah,
and then like now it's like, again, like I don't like actively seek out like a bologna sandwich, but if the pepperoni pizza is good, I'm gonna eat the pepperoni.
No, it's as you should.
If I'm going to the stand, I'm eating a Diavolo pizza.
Would you have porchetta, like just which is kind of like a pulled pork.
No, I know what it is.
Differently seasoned.
Yeah. No, I mean, even when you go to Spain, you can't really eat a lot.
Ibérico.
You can't even go out.
You have to have it.
You either just eating potatoes then the whole time. I'm not
No,
in fucking Ireland.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But yeah, I have to. I mean, that was actually one of the first things I said to my wife, and she's also Muslim. But like on the first day, it's like, yeah, I eat pork. I'm like, this is like not going to be a deal breaker.
Draw the line.
But like, he was like, just so you know, and she was pretty down.
She's pretty down. Yeah, it's great. That's what. When did you meet her? How old are you now?
I'm 30.
So how long you been together? When did you meet her?
We met at 27.
Okay, so it's not that. It's recent-ish. It's a couple years. You moved pretty quickly, which is good when you got the right one. That's what you're supposed to do. But okay, but it's not. I feel like it would have been more fun if you met at like 19 or something, and she was like the only girl you'd ever been with, and it's like you're just leaving your parents' house, you're just going to college, you're just opening your mind up to the world, and it's like, hey, but by the way, we can get a little crazy. Forget fucking up the ass.
Let's eat pork.
Let's eat pork.
Yeah, that's like the nice way to
it's
see
the
season
gateway.
the relationship.
This is the gateway to Western.
How do we mix it up, baby?
idea.
How do we spice it up?
That's awesome.
We feel like we've known each other for a while. That's the kind of.
Well, that's good. That's important. I don't judge you. I've been with my girl for 5 years. 3 years ago, I felt very, very
How did you
close
meet
to her.
your girl?
School, college.
McGill?
No, pre-college. Quebec's weird. We don't have 5 years of high school. We don't have 4 years of high school. We have 5. It starts at 12 in grade 7. It goes to 11.
Okay.
And
is that just that's specific to Quebec?
It's the only place in North America that does it. Yeah. So before university, we have pre-college. We have a thing called CEGEP, which is 2 years long. So we graduate at 22 for a bachelor's, but school is mandatory till 17. But you graduate, your prom is at 17 instead of 18.
Oh, you guys have prom. That's cool.
Yeah, it's the same energy. But
wait,
yeah, it's still very gay in both places. It's still super lame. I mean, I don't know.
Go to Men's Warehouse, get that red tux,
Oh my god, it was really funny too. I remember because I went to a school with a lot of wops, and
wait, is that Italian?
yeah, tons of us, dude, tons of us, and we just and you would have kids.
You just said like a West Side Story slur, dude. That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can't say it, then who else can?
I guess.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I wish more people would say it. It's a great word. It's got a nice punch to it. So no, but it was super spot on, dude. People were fucking renting limos. They were going to like the neighborhood fucking, tailors. This is one guy named Signor Terry on Jean Talon East in like the neighborhood in Montreal, which you won't know, but it's like, people were going to fucking, the hood to get like a suit made, for a 17-year-old kid.
They're getting made.
Because people had stupid money, they're not educated, a lot of these parents, but they had stupid fucking, just uneducated contractor money. Yeah. So it wasn't a lot of what you're describing, And there were other schools that were much more affluent, or just where the student body and the parents of the students were much more affluent, and they would actually, I don't know, just it felt a little more real when they would do it. They would smoke cigars, and their parents would give them a nice sip of a scotch or something, but it felt more real, like they had been doing it for a while. Whereas I think in the case of a lot of the people that I went to school with, and God love them, they're the best. They're the best. I mean, they never fucking judge me for anything. I will say this about the Italians: they never give me a hard time for anything I say, unless it's about Italians. But if it's about other people, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The stuff I got in trouble for saying, the Italians never give a fuck. They go, yeah, those people are whatever the fuck. And I'm like, no, you're missing the point. I was being satirical and kind of being like subtle. They're like, no, but fuck those guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
And fuck the Sicilians, right?
No. I mean, like, other people.
Yeah,
insert group. You know what I'm saying? But
what part of Italy is your family from?
Mom is Abruzzo, dad is Calabria. So tip of the boot and kind of the east coast.
Got it.
So
cool.
Not where you would have went when you were there recently. We could talk about that.
I was there for like an Asian wedding.
I'd like to talk about that. Stupid rich Asian, crazy rich Asian wedding
at a White Lotus. Yeah.
That's awesome. But all this to say, so yeah, when I was going to school and when we had prom and shit, a lot of the parents, at least in my like cohort of like people that I kind of like celebrated that day with, the parents were pretty well-to-do overall. There were some kids there on a bursary because it's a very Christian kind of background. It's a Jesuit thing. The idea is everyone's got to be able to come here. But the people that I happen to be, around, almost an exclusively Italian couple of limos, all very spaccone money.
Yeah.
All very spaccone. Spaccone means showy,
Spaccone.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
And there were cigars smoked and there were drinks poured, but it didn't feel the same as the wasps who had been doing it it just felt a little more real. It felt a little more seamless. It felt a little more right, Yeah. Like they have a little bit more of the cunty streak in them. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually will look up to you and say, who are you? The sweater vest types. They exist in Montreal. They exist in Toronto, Montreal. Most big cities have
I gotta check this out. Eventually I gotta, I want to go to Montreal for a very specific reason, but that would be cool.
What, the festival?
Yeah, the festival would be really cool. That was like definitely a big thing I'm gunning for. So hopefully I get that, inshallah.
Yeah, man.
We'll
I say that sometimes too now. By the way, it's a great thing.
No, it's a great thing. Yeah, I mean you can't really say it these days, but
I still do. I still do. Tons of Jewish friends.
Yeah,
hate Hamas.
That's good.
Still say it. I'll
yeah.
say it.
No, but it is a good. It rolls off the tongue very easily, and it's a very just like God willing.
You want to laugh? I was with my girlfriend at Grand Central. We had a bite there the other day when she came to visit me. We stepped out, and there was a building called the Hemsley Building. I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah.
She said it very matter of fact. Apparently, she had never heard of it either, which is crazy that she pointed it out. But I guess she just read it and thought, "Ooh, look." She goes, Hemsley Building. And I go, what did you just say? She goes, the Hemsley Building. I go, oh, I thought you said alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Yeah. And not even alhamdulillah. She, like, the full-on mustard, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful language. It is a beautiful language. Do you speak any Arabic at all? No, right?
Una poquito, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're taught it in, like, our Sunday schools to read the Quran. So it's a very specific
kind of like
Arabic.
Latin with Catholicism back in the day, I would assume.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's
it's
an
like the
old
lingua
school.
franca of
Yeah.
the religion almost.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It's not like the modern day applicable Arabic.
Sure.
So I mean, I definitely know like prayers, the azan, all that.
Yeah.
But in general, no, I'm not like we say salams. That's just across the university. That's across the Muslim world.
What's your linguistic background other than English? What else?
So because I studied abroad in Istanbul, and I went to a Galatasaray versus Juventus Champions League game. We can talk about.
Oh
that.
shit! Like
But-
what? Like 2013, 14?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was a delayed game.
They haunted.
I was there.
The snow game?
Yeah, the snow game.
You were at the snow game?
I was at the snow game.
No.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Drogba had the goal.
We still have nightmares about this.
Well,
Juve
because
fan.
are you Juventus?
I'm a Juve fan, dude.
Oh,
People
okay,
still
yeah.
lose their minds about it.
I'll
It's
show
the day
you.
it's the day that Antonio Conte lost his job.
I'll show you the archive photo that I have of it. That's funny. So I'm glad that we brought that up and discovered that right now.
yeah.
But yeah, I
What does that have to do with your language? I meant like what are your
Well,
parents?
so
Like
I-
your parents are
I-
from
I-
India.
Turkish- yeah,
There's
so
a
I know
lot of
Turkish.
languages in India.
I know
like
Turkish.
Tons,
Yeah, so
right?
my family's from Kashmir, which is like the northern like Himalayan area. So Kashmiri is like the language, which is like very
Okay.
similar to like Persian and Dari and some of those like other kind of like
Okay,
central.
hence the
Asian-
Islam because you're closer to that part of the world.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, so like my family has a little bit more of like a Persian ancestry, but
Okay.
yeah. So I went to Turkey, so I know Turkish, and then Kashmiri, not like fluently at all. It's a very hard language, and then there's
Sure.
Hindi, and then there's Urdu. I don't know those. But my wife knows Hindi and Urdu.
You're going way back in Instagram here. Jesus.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, it's like 10 years ago, right? I literally have it right here. Perfect.
That's a crazy game, dude. Oh my god, you look like a fucking baby in that. You actually look. You look very. You look Uzbek there. You look very Turkic.
Yeah, I
More
mean,
Turkic than Indian.
yo, these.
I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but if you send it to me, just take a screenshot, send it to me right now. I'll probably overlay
Yeah,
it. Or
these
just DM
these
it to
Turkish
me
fans
right
are crazy, man. Like they're playing like fucking like
DM me the picture right
I'll
now.
DM me
We'll-
picture,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
sure.
overlay it. But yeah. So was that your first European soccer game ever that you'd gone to?
oh yeah.
That's baptism by fire.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
They were like fireworks, you know what I mean? They were like and like just like absolutely like mayhem with like Molotov cocktails and shit. It was just
Yeah,
like
man.
And
Yeah.
the thing was like I was living in Beşiktaş, which is like one of the nicer neighborhoods of Turkey.
Sure.
And
So Galatasaray is a more working class club, I assume, then,
Well,
because their rival is Beşiktaş.
yeah, that's
so
what I'm
Beşiktaş
saying,
is
yeah,
more
but
affluent. Is that what it is?
I don't even
'Cause
know
that's
what
a tale
the
as old as
demographics-
time.
it could
Every
be.
club with a crazy rivalry, that's the dichotomy. It's almost always financial.
But I would like I was like more of like I live in Beşiktaş, I should be a Beşiktaş fan. But then I'm like I went to a Galatasaray game and I'm like, well, I mean this game is fucking lit, dude. It was really fucking good.
A few people match them.
Yeah.
A lot of Turkish fans would probably, if they heard this, would come out and take that as a some kind of personal affront and show images as proof as to why their fans are the most savage. They're all crazy, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Galatasaray I think is like universally in the
People
football
know it.
world.
Yeah, people
yeah,
know it.
kind of know.
Beşiktaş is not well known compared to Galatasaray.
They're well known, yeah, but Galatasaray is just a little bit. They just tend to feature more prominently in superlative lists of
for sure.
teams that have the craziest atmospheres or something.
So yeah,
like
it was
that.
a pretty crazy atmosphere, and then Turkey itself was pretty crazy. But then yeah, so those are like the four, and then Spanish. I took Spanish from like 6th grade to like 12th grade. Yeah.
Okay, but so Kashmiri and English, Kashmiri less because you grew up here, but then everything else you learned was kind of like on the path,
Sure.
just your own like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird. Yeah, Spanish, same thing. Everyone kind of learns a little bit of Spanish in the States. I picked it up by accident just because it's close.
Yeah.
Just because
to
like it's where you
Italian.
go
Yeah,
on
it's very
vacation.
close to Italians.
No,
yeah.
but like it's physically close. Like you just go where you want to go. Get your fucking put your balls in the sun. Where are you gonna go? Dominican Republic.
No, I know. Yeah,
Cuba. You can't go to Cuba, but we could have, so I did.
That's
once.
cool. That's awesome. I'm jealous.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Cuba's nice. I think there are ways that it is possible to go.
Yeah.
And you just got to get a visa. It's not simple. Like every other country wants Americans there. Cuba's a little more weird about it. And I think that's all it's taken to kind of have people want to steer clear. They're like, paperwork? No. Like fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just going down to fucking get drunk. I'm not leaving the resort anyway. Who gives a shit, right? So it's like they kind of go to Jamaica, wherever, or elsewhere.
Yeah, Aruba.
But it's funny, like if I was lucky growing up. Like I would go on vacation regularly, oftentimes to Hispanic countries or Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah.
And when you put it all together, it's like a couple of months abroad. Like you're talking to your family, especially as a kid. But you're sitting at a bar ordering drinks and you're hearing stuff. You're absorbing, man.
Yeah.
Especially with a French Italian background, it's not difficult. Portuguese likewise.
Yeah,
would
I
be
was
the
gonna
same
say, I
thing,
feel
which
like you're
don't
kind
have,
of
but-
programmed for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just kind of soak it in.
Picked it up.
Yeah.
Everyone here kind of speaks a little bit of it, though. I've
You have
noticed.
to. You have to know a little bit.
New York is crazy for that. Yeah, there's Spanish signage in a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, Puerto Rican, Dominican populations here are huge. But it's so funny is because the Mexican food here is not good.
No, I haven't even tried it.
Yeah.
Couldn't pay me to.
It's
Don't care.
generally speaking, it's just not accessibly that good.
Not the place. Texas, California, I'll try it.
Exactly.
Arizona, New Mexico, I'll try it.
Colorado's also got some good spots.
Do they have a lot of Mexicans there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans in Colorado.
Well, they're kind of everywhere, but sure.
But yeah, but the access.
They're in
to, like, the
Montreal too.
food-
There's good Mexican food in Montreal, legitimately
Yeah.
so. But that's
Well, if I ever get there.
yeah. No, it's a great culinary city. Ultimately,
Yeah, I'm a big.
that's
culinary
probably
guy. Yeah.
the thing that I think most people take away from it is how
Good the food
good
is.
the food is. Yeah, not unlike
well,
New York, but I guess it's a little more unexpected because it's not New York. You
Yeah.
know?
No,
you
I
think,
mean-
you think you're going to Boston.
Sounds even better.
But you go to Montreal, you think you're going to a city like Boston or like a fucking Philly, and you just wind up having like much better food.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much better food than.
That's
I
good to
think
know. That's good to know.
No, I've had Mexican in Florida. Not bad, but there aren't as many of them there, which makes sense. Like,
Yeah, that would be the place they
No,
should go.
it's
Yeah.
it's the swimmers that go to Florida. You have their food there. You get the fish,
It's-
the cute.
Yeah, the
Cuban
Epstein
food's not
Island
great.
neighbors.
Yeah. But you need to go to the border states. That's where I would.
Yeah.
That's where I'd be more excited about it. In California, I've had Mexican, best, great, fucking awesome.
Really good.
Tongue, don't care, give it to me.
Yeah.
Here I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, no.
Not for me.
No, I'm with you. But no, I heard a fucking like a black guy like who speaks like a like a black guy speaks in New York. Like he's got that kind of that was his accent, right? His speaking Spanish,
Yeah.
which really doesn't. It's a real warp of a moment when you hear that.
Mm-hmm.
You hear.
You ever heard of a British person speak Spanish? That's even funnier.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hola,
Like,
como estos?
Oh my God.
It's safe. It's muy bonito. It's really it's not cool. It's normal. It's mal. Yeah.
oh, hola, mate. Yeah, or get a couple Jaeger bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gracias, mate. Yeah, gracias, mate. Barcelona. Yeah.
Trace banana daiquiris. Yeah, it's a weird language. If
That's
you're
from The
British.
Godfather. You just quoted The
It
Godfather.
is. Yeah, I did. Wow, I'm glad you picked that up. right
Fredo,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
How you say banana daiquiri? Banana daiquiri, right? It's
A lot of the reason why I resonate with The Stand is it feels my favorite movies growing up were Goodfellas and The Godfather trilogy, and so the whole like vibe that is set. It's
the
very much
Italia's
by that.
father will be there sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
in
No,
the
but
basement.
it's very
in
fun.
the kitchen.
Yeah,
not working in the
Vito.
kitchen. He's just
Yeah, it was Vito. Yeah, Vito Corleone.
he's just kind of.
But even The Godfather, the game.
He's kind of.
You ever played that one?
On iPhone or on iPad?
No, it was on Xbox, like The Godfather game.
No, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I saw it growing up
huge
on
for me.
YouTube. Never played
Yeah.
it.
No, but we had like the box set trilogy of The Godfather, and yeah, I mean, I just I had a lot of fucking Italian friends. I was a big Italian.
Yeah. You're not Persian,
No,
but you could be.
I'm from Saragossa.
You could be. A lot of the Persians love The Godfather.
So
you ever
what-
been to Saltbase
exactly.
restaurant?
No.
He's not Persian. He's Turkish, but
Yeah.
similar
vibe.
similar energy.
Yeah.
Similar-ish part of the world, and yeah, it's everywhere. By the way, good on you for not having gone. It's not a proud moment of mine whenever I
No.
reveal to people that I've been to his restaurant, but I wanted to try it and I went in Mykonos. Awful. Like it's a horribly trash
Salpe, yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. His restaurants here, desolate. I joked about this the week after it happened.
Yeah.
I went to Mykonos, paid an arm and a leg. We ate yogurt for days to afford it within our like little vacation budget that we kind of concocted. I went to have Caribbean food at a jerk spot with my buddy. in an area where a bunch of Caribbean guys live in Montreal. A week later, way better.
Yeah.
Way better. Shot all over it. There was a van in the front lawn.
Yeah.
There were plastic chairs. I tried to
Authentic.
open the fucking front door, dude. It turned on its hinge.
Yeah.
There was nobody answering the door. It's a window you get the food out of. 10 times better.
Yeah.
Way better experience.
Wagwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Salt Bay's got pictures of him.
Yeah,
Dressed
he's-
as the Godfather doing this.
Of course. Yeah.
In the
yeah.
bathrooms
It's the most
everywhere.
memeable thing. Because, like, I think
Crazy. The
friend of
people that go there, a lot of Brits, they keep that place afloat. By the way, the Essex
Yeah.
reality TV Love Island Brits,
The EastEnders,
they keep
yeah.
that place a fucking float.
So the Italians are on like the lowest totem pole for white people, but then the highest on the totem pole for brown people.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Are Italians the lowest on the totem pole for white people?
I think they're up there.
Like among the whites?
Yeah.
It might be Jews. But it
Yeah.
depends. It
No
might.
comment on that.
It might be, but it depends what whites you ask. Like a lot of like the really like white, like
Yeah.
you know, like a lot of them, those fucking Jews. It's like they look just like you. Fuck them anyway. I think it's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It used to be the Irish. No one gives a shit about that anymore.
No.
Or them.
No, because they became what the Irish and the Italians did is that they became the cops. They became like the firemen. That's why like they kind of like ingratiated themselves within U.S. society.
You know who I think it might be? It might be like
No, I think
is it like Georgians maybe. Like what's a white?
that's a good point.
Romanians,
yeah.
Romanians maybe.
yeah.
Romanians
Maybe the gypsies.
maybe.
Yeah.
No, not gypsies. See, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Anytime anyone brings up Romania, we say gypsies because they're Romani. I think they got to rebrand that, by the way. Romania need to like change their name. Then the country literally sounds like Gypsy land.
Yeah.
Because they're the Romani people.
Yeah.
But if you've seen gypsies in Europe, apparently they're people that wandered up like from India.
Yeah.
Hence the darker complexion.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's insane and not the same as Irish travelers like on Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. It's fine.
Different.
So when I was
Romanians, I don't know, just Moldovans, like maybe Eastern European, Bulgarians.
The,
Who likes a Bulgarian? They've got to be lower
the
than Italians.
the Montenegrins.
People want to fuck Italians. No one
Yeah.
wants to fuck a Bulgarian.
It's very true. That's
You know?
gross. Yeah. When I was driving I was in Syracuse and I was driving back to my college in Albany,
Yeah.
and then I got pulled over, and the cop thought I was Italian.
Sure.
Yeah. So I kind of like played up to it for a minute, but I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, he's like, where are you from? I'm like, from Siracusa, you know?
Yeah. Nice.
And he's like, yeah, it's Sicily. I'm like, that's why I'm darker skinned. I'm from the southern part near,
So I
near
know.
Africa, you know?
You said Syracuse, and
Yeah,
you thought he was
Syracuse.
talking about he was a guinea.
Well, he's like, Bassam Shawl. What are you, Italian? I'm like,
No.
Muscusi, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell
So-
Peters had a great bit about that, about how when he would go to Italy, they thought he was Italian.
Yeah.
And they would be like, Indiano. Ma non sei, no Indiano.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's got to be Albanians, dude, or like a Bosnian. Maybe Bosnians might be the lowest.
What's that place right
White-
next to Greece? Macedonians. There you go.
It's not Italy anymore. It was only Italy because they were here. It was Italy. It was Italians wherever Italians went as immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like in London, it was wogs, wogs out. I know fucking Grace balls in this country. Yeah, fuck over it. And,
Yeah.
But like, you know, if you asked white people elsewhere, like in Russia, I think they'd have said, Italy, very nice.
Yeah.
Italy,
It
you know,
depends on
nice
like,
country.
you know, which area you're polling. This
But no
question for.
Italians went to Russia. If a bunch of Italians
No, they wouldn't
immigrated
do
to
that.
Russia, they'd say,
Food
"Who are
is
these
bad.
fucking guys that
Yeah.
look different?" You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's where I think that comes from. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not victimized at all anymore, dude. I mean, just everyone wants to travel there. That's if people want to travel to your country, you're nothing. You're not on the totem pole.
So
anymore.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Italy was it was magical being there,
Yeah,
for sure.
No one wants to go to Palestine. People want to go to Israel. No one wants to go to Palestine.
I would love to go to Palestine. I'd love to go to the West Bank.
I'm sure you would. That's
feel like there's a
olives.
lot.
A lot of olives.
Yeah,
Olive
and
trees,
also
yeah.
East Jerusalem is, I would say, Palestine. So
I'm sure you would because you're a very intelligent guy, historically very, very rich place. I would actually, you know what? Now that I'm saying it, I would actually like to go to the West Bank too.
Yeah,
Jesus,
it's very
this is where
beautiful.
Jesus walked. That would
Yeah.
all be very cool, actually. Now that I'm
Yeah.
saying, but it feels like nobody does. I could be wrong. I know
Well,
a lot
it's
more
not-
people that go
it's
to
not-
Israel than
it's-
go to the
It's
West
not really
Bank.
accessible.
The West Bank is though, right?
No, but not compared to like Israel. That's what I'm saying. It's like
No.
you really have to like get some special access to that place.
Did you see the report yesterday that apparently now? By the way, I don't know when this is coming up. I fucking called this. I didn't really call this. I said maybe this is what's happening, but apparently there are reports that the Israeli government knew that Hamas was going to attack them, and that in the summer they heard about Hamas military exercises that were going on and said, let them do their thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
Dude,
as soon as it happened, didn't you? The natural instinct is to say, what kind of fuckery is going on here? How did they not let it happen? It did feel like a move where it was almost like maybe they let it happen so they could have like a political diplomatic excuse to wipe out Hamas, you know, who's been like a thorn in their side. You wonder. You do wonder, man. Like Netanyahu is an interesting character. Like he was the prime minister before, I think lost and won again. And I don't know. Yeah, who knows, man? I feel that anyone that becomes the leader of a country probably, to a maybe concerning extent, a lot of people, at least in a lot of democracies, I think this is the case.
Yeah.
Like where there's how much of a democracy it is, like Russia, for example. There have been accusations that, you know, it's kind of a sham, that there are sham elections that go on there. Who the fuck knows? But I feel like,
Well, yeah.
right. But my point is, you know, Putin, the head of a state in a theoretical democracy.
Yeah.
You wonder if I'm concerned that a lot of those people, just to be in a position where you want to become the leader of a state, and then to actually, like, you know, slit everyone's throat along the way to get to the top. I feel like you have to be a little bit nuts. And I think a lot of them are concerningly focused on how history will reflect on them and their role in history. And I feel like as soon as it happened, I was like, I wonder if Netanyahu, I just had this instinct where I was like, you know, maybe Netanyahu knew that if, you know, it happened. But when I say I hate Hamas, I don't think they're good guys. I understand how it happens in a vacuum. Like, I understand how it's created. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's like, it's not, they're not good. They're not good people. They're very scary guys. At a certain level, we can at least agree. It's like, it's a little concerning, you know, right?
Yeah.
You're right?
Yeah.
Sure. But having said that, like, it's a weird thing. And by the way, this could all get cut out. Don't worry about this.
I don't know. I'm not even saying anything. I know
we're not. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But what I'm saying is, I do feel like this is, by the way, what happens when you get a comic on a fucking fellow comics podcast. We talk about politics. That's great. This is very productive.
Yeah.
But no, so I do think there. You know, my instinct was to say, interesting that Mossad didn't. You know, that they failed to this extent. It'll be very hard for Netanyahu to recover from this unless he wipes out Hamas. So suppose it was a real thing that just happened out of nowhere. They got caught off guard. It's like, yeah, there's no ceasefire. There's not going to be like this is a thing that they feel like is one of the worst attacks that has occurred on them in a long time. They're going to do this till completion. Whatever the cost, they'll do it. That's just what war is. It's savage. It's brutal. It's very unfortunate. The human cost of stuff like this is very, you know, troubling. And but as soon as it happened, I thought either they got caught with their pants down, and to recover politically, this is what people do when they have to recover politically. They go savage. They don't give a shit. They say, I'm going to win a war now. I'm going to declare a war and win so that I could regain the will of the people. And then we'll deal with the fact that we got compromised later. Or maybe it's like a move where it's like, hey, you know what? We hear this is maybe going to happen. Let it happen. And then I'll be the hero who comes in and says, I wiped out Hamas, those guys who wanted to kill us for all those years. And now, you know, that party's no longer exists. And then who knows what the fuck comes next, right? Does that make it easier for resolution? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. This is, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, war is popular, especially when you're struggling domestically, which he's very unpopular. That's the whole thing with Netanyahu.
That's the thing I hear about. I'm not that familiar. I'd have to ask some of my Jewish buddies about this who are a little more tuned in, but I think
people will be on his side when things like this are happening.
That's the thing. What I've heard is that there has been a rally, you know, even though there might be criticism of him for having hypothetically been the guy at the helm which allowed this to happen. The attack, right? The attack, right? I think there's like a unanimous support for, yeah, well, you know, we can't let this happen again. Because, like, just think about it from a human point of view, right? You're like, okay, I live here right now, right? Forget about everything that happened before. Currently, I live here. I have a house. I'd rather it not get invaded and, you know, I get raped and killed, right? Yeah. It's a natural instinct. So you're going to say, well, naturally, we have to eliminate the threat. And so there's like unanimous support now for the guy, even though, you know, 6 months ago, there was a debate as to whether or not he was ruling, you know, well. And I think he was trying to fucking, you know, change their was the parliamentary system or the constitution or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he was rigging the judiciary.
Yeah.
We don't really know.
Okay.
But,
Let's talk more about this off pod.
Yeah, right. You get my real feelings.
This might get cut. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I got to pee real bad. Maybe this is a good point to fucking take a pee break. Yeah, I don't know how we got into Israel. It's going to be very fun actually to watch the tape back and see how I got us in that direction.
It'd be interesting.
It'll be very interesting to see how we got there.
Yeah.
Let's take this home. So the interesting thing about you is when we met,
Yeah.
I worded that weird. When I met you.
This is like a week ago, by the way.
A few weeks ago. You told me.
Was it a few? Yeah, it was a
few weeks ago.
It was. Wow, that's crazy.
You told me a few weeks.
Yeah.
You told me, it was like 3 weeks ago. You told me, yeah, I just quit my job. I'm full-time with comedy now. I said, congrats.
Yeah.
What did you do? You said, I work for Qatar.
Yeah,
I said, excuse me, I worked for them. I was a lobbyist, you told me earlier.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you told me before. Now you're revealing me. It's the plot's thickening the more you're sharing.
I'm a Bond villain.
Yeah, so yeah, and you know it's funny. We were talking about Israel and Palestine. You were saying like the catalyst and all this is kind of Qatar because they the mediator, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Iran is funding it, and Qatar is mediating. Probably Iran funding it on one side, the U.S. probably funding it on the other, and then then Qatar is somehow in the middle.
So
a place that wants you to come and just fuck your wife in the ass privately.
Yeah.
In the room.
As long as you're married. You know, it doesn't matter.
Fuck your wife privately.
Yeah.
Just do it in private. You could do it. We're not going to police your behavior. We want your money, but just do it quietly.
In the hotel. Only
do it privately.
Yeah.
You think there's ever been a funny thing in like a devoutly like Christian country, or like a devoutly like Islamic Jew, whatever, just a devoutly religious country where it's like they wanted to police fucking like behavior. It's like they got fucking like hitting cameras in the sheets just to see which hole it goes into, you know?
Oh yeah. Making sure that it's like not the ears. Yeah. So I remember, I started comedy in DC, and I was working at the time at like a lobbyist group, and they represented Qatar. And then I eventually switched lobbying groups, but they also had Qatar as a client. And
they liked you so much, they said, we'll hire you.
Yeah, well, it was very like, oh, we could like have him be the buffer between our sort of like corporate whiteness and this Middle Eastern, you know, like monarchy. And so, yeah, like, you know, they were building up credibility with like the U.S. government and Congress right ahead of like the World Cup because like they were hosting. Right. And so there was a lot of that, but then
where's all that good faith gone now? By the way,
yeah,
the World Cup is over.
It was such a crazy thing because it's like. They had so many migrants building that stadium that fucking died, and like part of my job was basically help covering that up, where like I could go to like the media and be like, "That's not true. They didn't die on site." Yeah.
They died in the camp that we were putting them up in,
Yeah.
but that's neither here nor there.
They died because they didn't have Obamacare, so blame Obama.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a lot of that, and it wasn't paid well, so that's even more fucked up.
That feels like the one benefit of
that's
working
the human
for
rights
Qatar.
crime. That's the big human rights crime was not being paid well.
They had you compromising your morals,
Yeah.
and they weren't even remunerating you like they could afford to.
Because I'm from South Asia, they just took my passport and they exploited my labor, and that's exactly what they do. But yeah, I remember during the interview process though, like they try to, like these lobbyists, like they like test your morality. So this one guy was like, "Are you like comfortable working with like, you know, maybe like lesser reputationally like okay people like companies and countries?" I was like, yeah, you know, as long as they're not like committing human rights violations. And this guy was like, so what do you consider a human rights violation? And I'm like,
and he said, hear me out.
Yeah.
He said, hear me out.
He's like, so like, do you like the Geneva Accords? Like, what do you, yeah, the Nuremberg? Yeah. I was like, I'm like, I mean, as long, like, you know, like genocide.
Who decides what a war crime is anyway?
I was
you know,
like,
it's war, right?
It's so subjective. But I was like, I don't know, like genocide? And he's like, so what do you...
Who's right? Ask someone. Israel, Hamas. Who's right?
Who's right?
It's all subjective.
It's all point. Who's paying me?
Who's asking? Who are you asking? You're going to get a vastly different answer.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. And my goal, by the way, is to, and I don't know, and every time I bring this up, I always stumble ass backwards into it somehow. It always just comes up in conversation, even despite my best efforts to not talk about this ever. I think I might have scared you off from the pod, by the way, discussing that. You were like, I went for a piss break. You're like, yeah, can we do 5 more? I'm like, yeah, we're only going to be at 45 minutes. You're like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but this is a
I don't know where this
topic.
is going.
This is a zesty topic at the
I
moment.
will say that I tried to not reveal, like, take us. I kind of think it's, there, is it fair to say there's like evil on both sides,
Sure.
and lack of regard for human life.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most Christian behavior on either side.
The most Christian.
Is that fair to say?
That's so funny.
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Actually, not the most Christian behavior.
Not the most
either
Christian
side.
behavior.
Yeah, I'll take the Christian high ground.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, honestly, yeah, you
so
should do that. You should do that on stage.
Stupid. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. So, morality, subjective.
It's all subjective. But yeah,
And they're trying to see where the line is for you.
yeah, exactly. But I got the job. But then yeah, I mean, the work was pretty boring in a lot of regards, but they don't have so they have a lot of educational initiatives. Like there's a lot of universities there, Carnegie Mellon, Cornell, a lot of random universities have partnerships in Doha. They do a lot of investments. But I remember the foreign minister was visiting the States, and he would visit Qatar students at universities, just gift them thousands of dollars, and then just Lamborghinis, Porsches. They just keep doing your thing here, and I'm just gonna give you Grand Theft Auto money and Grand Theft Auto.
And you're
cars.
seeing all this saying, "What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing wrong to not be getting
this money?
this
Why am I
money
not doing this? Yeah.
paid off, bought off? I don't know."
Yeah, but I've never been. I don't think I'm. If I'm violating my NDA here, I don't really say anything that bad.
That's a weird. Yeah, the NDA is a weird one. I got a much less severe, but I got one when I left an MLS soccer team.
Oh,
Can't
wow.
talk about the inner workings of a soccer. So it's,
Yeah.
Granted, I do this pod. We talk about soccer a lot. I think there was a bit of a concern that maybe I would do that.
No.
This is a little bit different.
No. I love soccer. I used to play it. I used to have my fucking coach.
But it's not as serious a matter as an NDA involving the state of Qatar in
Exactly.
2023.
No, these people will fucking assassinate you.
Right.
No, they won't do that.
Are you concerned at all for your safety? Is it the sunglasses, or is it the subject matter that might have scared you off the rest of the pod? Is it a fear of where this might be going, and the fact that if we stray too far into playing devil's advocate, either way, you might get a bullet to the back of the head in fucking Astoria?
I think visually, it would be Jackson Heights. I think visually, how you and I look talking about this topic, it would just be canceled from the thumbnail alone.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I'm not taking any fucking chances.
None of that has to be in the pod.
Yeah.
None of that has
I
to
don't
be.
care. Put everything in this pod.
But I did. Yeah. When it happened, I said, this could be happening. X could be happening. I pondered a few different scenarios. One of which was maybe they knew about it and they let it happen so they could wipe out.
Sam knew about it. He didn't tell anybody about it, and he heard it from his soccer friends.
It was
all of these soccer Arabs that he was playing with. They're like, "Hey, October 7th, don't come to Israel that day. Don't go to the music festival, Sam. And I know you look like you like music festivals, but don't go there,
especially with these glasses.
Especially those glasses. This is literally the VIP access of a music festival party goer right here. So Sam, we care about you. Don't come to Israel on the 7th of October, and if you do, just stay with us. Yeah, and that's the thing. You'll be safe with us.
Put on this balaclava.
Yeah,
we got a job.
Put on this green headband.
Strap on. You ever gone paragliding before? We got a job for you. We're gonna,
you seem
like
you
want
like
to take that off the bucket list. Fuck.
Yeah, but no, dude, it was good. It was a good hanging. Good hanging.
Yeah,
good chatting with you.
This was a good hang.
Good conspiracy here.
This was cool. I appreciate you coming on, taking the time. Yeah, bro. I don't know how we got into the more complicated stuff. Can we end on this? Can we end on Italy? Can we end on your trip to Italy?
I love it. Yeah, it was the best trip ever.
That's just how could anyone?
They lost my luggage though. It was crazy. They lost my luggage, and I got it. And I got it back.
What city?
I was flying into Firenze, and they lost it in Firenze. Yeah,
that's fine.
And so they lost it, but then I got it literally 3 hours before the wedding. So I got my luggage but I bought a suit at one of the outlet stores there, and it was a nice suit. And I ended up just wearing that suit to the wedding. But I had contact lenses, and all my contacts were in my fucking suitcase. So that kind of sucked. So I had to rewear my contact lenses. But the wedding, the Crazy Rich Asian wedding, amazing fucking food, a lot of noodles, as you can imagine, crazy dance floor. The shopping in Italy was great. The gelato is obviously incredible.
Did you stay in Tuscany the whole time?
Yeah, so we were staying basically in the outer areas of Tuscany for the wedding, and then we went to Florence for the actual city proper, and then we went to Venice for a day trip, and then we went back to Florence.
What was your impression of Venice?
I just needed 1 day there. I didn't really need to spend more time.
Are
there.
you happy you went?
I'm happy I
Are
went.
you ever gonna go back?
No. I
The
don't
answer
think
is
I need to
no.
go
That's
back.
the
Yeah.
right answer.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
The correct answer.
It seems like it's
it's a
one
soulless
and done.
city. It
Yeah.
go to Vegas. Go to fucking Venice
No,
and Vegas. Dude.
I mean, yeah, Venice. I feel like that's the thing with Vegas. Like
They
after
don't
3
want you there.
After 3 days of
they don't want
Vegas,
me there. I'm an Italian citizen. I got a fucking passport. They don't want me there. They don't want me there.
Yeah.
Because I'm American and because I'm not from that part of the country. They're
Interesting.
very elitist up there,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, interesting.
The Venetian Republic. Very
Venetian.
proud of it. They have
Yeah,
their own
yeah.
language and such. It's its own kind of.
No, I remember. This is
thing.
actually an embarrassing thing. So like, I wanted to get off the boat for a second, off the gondola, and I stepped on the cushion, and the guy freaked the fuck out, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I'm like, "My bad." And I like
What's the cushion?
like on the boat, like
Yeah,
on the little
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and I stepped on it to get off, right? And
Yeah.
like it left a little bit of like a skid mark.
Were you
So
drunk at the time?
I was high for sure.
You might have been able to tell. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I don't know if I was definitely under something, but anyway, yeah. I watched,
You understand that's a little less endearing, right? When they're like
Yeah.
these fucking foreigners who come here and get
Oh
all
yeah, I mean
fucked up.
visually he probably hated this. He's like fucking migrant piece of shit just doing this.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
worst tourist piece of shit.
was gonna give
Way
him,
worse.
I gave him like maybe like a €20. He was pissed.
Did he relent or?
No, he was like, I'm not taking the €20. I'm like,
he said you think you pay me off, you could buy me off.
yeah, but I was like, I guess this is not enough. So and then he started talking Italian, talking shit about his friend to me. I'm like, what? Do you want more? And I'm like, he's just like, no, it's €20. I'm like, yeah, all right, just go fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, mutually that's probably what it's. You've been in New York for a little while. I think it's just.
yeah.
And
but
any
whatever.
interaction with an Italian guy just inevitably ends
Whoa,
up with,
whoa,
you,
whoa,
with
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
off. Yeah, you
Yeah,
fuck off.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a lot of dancing, but not.
When were you there?
This is this past summer, so this is
August?
like July.
July's tough. July's a tough fucking time to go there, dude. Being that part.
No,
of the
no, no.
world.
It was May. It was May.
That's not as bad.
Yeah, it was May.
That's
yeah.
not nearly as bad.
Yeah.
But the crazy registrations, are they getting married at a villa? Well, what's that even like, dude? It's the thing. Are you mad when people invite you to a wedding abroad? Because
No.
I don't
This
have
was
it in
no.
me.
I mean, this was worth going for the destination wedding for sure. Because I'd never been to Italy before.
I could never do it to
But
anyone.
the food was incredible. So the groom, he like owns like a luxury furniture provider company. So like the furniture in Secession, like the show, he like supplies that. And
Oh,
so
shit. Okay.
he's Filipino, his wife is Korean.
Okay.
And so like it was a lot of fucking noodles, as you can imagine.
Right.
Really great dance floor. What I loved about Italy though was like the vintage shopping. And
Yeah.
so like I got like some good shit from like Prada, some good sunglasses. Wifey got some good bags. People are gonna rob me after this fucking thing.
It's interesting because Florence is a city where there's a lot of good.
It's art. It's an art city.
So yeah. Historically,
Yeah.
they have a lot of artisanal products, but a lot of it's new. The vintage scene feels on brand, but I've never really noticed that. I've never been that dialed in.
Hit the vintage scene.
Yeah,
there.
I've
It's
never
crazy.
I've never been that dialed into that because I've been making a very concerted effort to try to not buy stuff like that anymore.
Sure.
I can't do it.
Only
anymore.
only gay sunglasses in Chelsea.
Only gay sunglasses in Chelsea, which
Yeah.
this was a gay-owned shop. Very proud to be rocking these right now and supporting the community.
LGBTQ owned.
Yeah. They felt compelled to say it in case you couldn't tell that the guy would have liked it if I had solicited him for a whatever. It's we know it's we're in Chelsea and you're giggling at a guy talking to you, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. I feel I feel like a good person for having bought from it was a gay Chinese guy. I got the feeling his parents didn't. Here's the thing. I got the feeling his parents weren't that into it.
Into him.
The lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
Yeah. So it's like, you kind of got to understand. People are going to do it. They're going to say, yeah, listen, I like that here people accept me. It's, people, it's
You do your thing in the city. You reinvent yourself.
yeah. That's
So
the
if
thing.
you move here, man, you gotta embrace it. You gotta change a little bit.
Heads up. No, but I will say this has been good. This has been productive. It's been very interesting.
It's been enlightening.
We didn't get to the Thanksgiving story.
Oh, we'll get to that off the pod. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Thanksgiving story off the pod.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Just a little heads up at the end when I kind of mentioned the Thanksgiving story. I spoke to Bassam about it off pod after. So the reason he was a little weird about it is just because he actually wants to turn it into a bit and he didn't want to talk about it on the pod. That's why we kind of rapped where he did. He told me the story. It's very good. I'm a little pissed that he didn't bring it up on the pod. I think it would have been fucking great. We riffed well, but I thought I added something to it. That's not to be self-centered, but we riffed on it well. Like we there's something there. It was a good idea. It was a good story. I think he might turn it into a bit, and he didn't want to share it. That's the only issue there. So that's what that was. But again, we kind of finished it a bit abruptly. So again, if you don't follow me, please do it. I'm Sam Adamo, and more importantly, please follow Bassam at Bassam Shawl. It's his name, just his name in the fucking title. If you want to kind of follow his proseguimento. What the fuck is the word in English? His path. I don't know. His journey as a comic. He's been doing it a little longer than me, but he's a funny guy. He's been good to me, and he's very funny. So I hope you enjoy his shit as well as mine, and that you might see that bit down the line at some point, either on social media or in a fucking special or God knows what. Who knows? The Thanksgiving bit, which doesn't mention Thanksgiving. It's really the AirPods bit. If you hear him ever talking about AirPods down the line in 5 years, the genesis of it was just before this podcast, and kind of talking to him about it after. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, guys, much love to you all. Don't worry about the fucking Euro draw. It's fine. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Tell yourself it's going to be fun. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got fucking months to prepare and get hyped for it. It's going to be a great summer. I'm really excited for it. Yeah, that's it. I got to pee. See what this is? I'm grabbing my cock right now because I got to piss really badly because I've been chugging tea because it's the only thing I can consume right now until fucking 2 days from now. I'm 48 hours into a fucking 86-hour fast. I'm dying over here. I got to let you go. I got to go fucking take a piss. Thank you. Alla prossima. Catch you soon. Ciao.